Yep.
Yep.
All right. All right. Happy Thursday, birds, and welcome into this edition of the Red Zone here on 103.3 WZND's YouTube channel. I'm Mikey Fernelli alongside David Moses and Dane Dreyfus here for this special, shorter Thanksgiving edition. Guys, how we doing all the way from home?
Pretty good.
Good. Doing really
Good.
good.
Really
Glad to
good.
hear it. Glad to hear it. We got some special guests, but we'll get to that when the time comes. But first, I got a question for you guys, an intro question. What is the best Thanksgiving side dish? Not turkey. If you had to pick, so let's say you get to grandma's house, you get to mom's house, whatever, and they say, we're gonna have nothing else this year aside from turkey and blank. What is it?
So this
David,
is
you want to go first?
this is a hot topic. I've seen it on the internet all the time, whether this is a main dish or some type of side dish, but mac and cheese is the best side dish. It is a side dish. Mac and cheese, gotta go with that.
I respect that one. Dane?
I'm riding with mac and cheese too, but I don't want to have the same one. So I'm trying to think of something like a little different. But I'm gonna go Hawaiian rolls to throw
Okay.
on like the turkey and stuff. So like not necessarily a side, but something that complements the entree. Like they're one of the best duos in the league.
And
Okay.
it's always better when they're a little warm, they're a little buttery.
Yep. So I'm gonna go with mashed potatoes, I think. I know that's pretty plain, but I think just like some good mashed potatoes, some gravy, that's always a good one. And we'll get into the first game here. I believe Mr. Moses is going to be our first guest. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself before we get on to this game?
Hi, I'm David Moses the second. I'm David's dad.
Well, you wouldn't be. Are you David Moses Senior then? So technically, David's the second.
Well, no, not actually the senior.
Okay,
I'm David A with a different middle name
right.
than David A with a different name. So when we use David A, I'm David A the first. He's David A the second.
Interesting. So
Wait,
I want.
want to say that you're David A
I'm a
too?
David A as well.
You're David A too. Okay, all
No
right,
way. I
great.
my sister's joining in a bit, and she is not named David A. Unfortunately. Um, but first, we got the Bills and the Lions. So, Mr. Moses, you want to kick us off with your pick here on the Bills and the Lions game coming up on Thursday?
For Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, I'm riding with the Bills.
Why is that? What do you think about the Bills this season?
I mean, you know what house we're in. You know who you're talking to. I am such an advocate for Josh Allen and the Bills. I talk about with him. You already
Yeah,
know what house
yeah.
we're in.
So I take it that means Demos, you're going to go with the Bills as well.
100%. We're going with the Bills. I do not see the Lions beating them at all.
The house is
All right,
not divided.
Dane, what do you think?
I'm gonna kick off Rod's giving with the
Oh,
shocker of the year.
oh
The
man,
Detroit Lions are going to make
oh
Thanksgiving
man.
very special this year, as you're going to see a defensive player take home the turkey leg. Aiden Hutchinson's going to take that home. The Detroit Lions are winning on Thanksgiving.
Man. Oh, I can't help but
Gonna
go. I can't help but take the safe pick here. I think the Bills, like David were saying, I think they're just a solid team all around. And I think despite having a couple losses in the season, they're destined to be one of those top AFC teams. So that means rolling through a pretty easy NFC team, I think, on Thanksgiving Thursday. Although the
The
Lions
Lions
always play
are
on
the
Thanksgiving.
second hottest team in the NFL right now. Behind there was a team on I think the Niners are on a 3-game win streak. There's another team with a 4-game win streak. But in some of these wins, I mean, they beat a Packers team who was underperforming. They beat what was it?
Bears.
So the Bears, Packers, not necessarily the two best wins. But then beating a very good Giants defense, being able to run the ball on a pretty good defense, and the Bills, you know what? They let the Browns hang around for a while. So I like the Lions.
On national TV. This is like the game that everyone actually watches, right? Like for the most part, like you're usually at home for the first half, maybe you're driving in the second half, but you actually at least sit and kind of watch this one. Maybe a little bit the afternoon game too, but let's see what happens there. All right. Bears and Jets coming up Sunday at noon. Either of the Davids start us off.
This was no hesitation. You see it right
Say no more.
hesitation. Chicago Bears. I don't care if it's Justin Fields or if it's what's the back Trevor Simeon. We're getting this dub. We're gonna go into New York and get this win.
So they just said something about Fields just a little bit ago. He has a separated shoulder with partially torn ligaments and will evaluate for status for Sunday later. Now, by the time this is on YouTube, it'll be tomorrow, so they might know more. But I don't know if he's going to be playing or not yet. Dane, what
Yeah,
do
I
you
wish
think?
I wish we had the full time to really dive into that
Mm-hmm.
and talk about it a little bit more.
Dane?
Um, I don't think Fields is going to play. If he did play, I still like Mike White and the Jets. Now, if Zach Wilson was starting for the Jets, I would have taken the Bears with Fields or probably Simeon. It's going to be a QB carousel. Should be a
Mm-hmm.
fun one. Jets have an elite defense. Give me the Jets, 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 Jets.
That's the Packers fan I was telling you about.
Okay, I get it. I get it.
The Bears for 2 weeks got 2
Yeah,
losses.
he was on the Bears side for a couple weeks.
All right.
Dane, that's a funny way to put it, calling it fun, because this game is just going to be a pain to watch. I said I was going to drive back to school after this game on Sunday, but I might actually leave at halftime because this game is not going to be interesting to watch. Like you said, it's a QB carousel. Either team is in turmoil when it comes to that. I'm going to have to go with the Bears because I'm wearing the Bears jersey, but there's really no other evidence behind it. I would say the Jets are in a weird spot with the quarterback situation, but so are the Bears for not the same reasons. But I'm going to go with the Bears just because I won't ever really pick against the Bears unless it's obvious. So I don't think I have picked against the Bears once, have I? In pick six? I don't think so.
You did. Wait.
Well, Andy P picked against the Bears for
Andy
me.
P against the
but that doesn't count.
Did you say Steve's pick for the last round too? Because
shoot, I haven't been saying the Steve picks. You are totally right. Because Steve was gonna join our Zoom, but he is on vacation, so he sent in his picks. He's living his best life out there in Vegas. Let's find his picks. Where's that group chat?
He went Bills. I know the picks. He went
Bills
right.
Yes, we were talking about the Lions.
On the Lonely Island.
He went with the Bills and he went with the Jets in the last 2 games.
So now with our listeners turned into viewers, they can actually see like, oh man, Andy Samberg is part of the Lonely Island.
Yeah, this is weird for the viewers. They might be like, or listeners, I guess. They don't usually see our faces. This is different. Probably a good thing, to be honest.
The face behind the mic.
Yeah. All right. Question before we get to the next picks. Favorite Thanksgiving sports memory. Now, it could be football, could be professional, watching something, could be playing in the backyard. I'll start it off because I know this is a tough one, so I'll give you some time to think. 2018, Bears at Lions, and the Bears defense just showed up. And it was awesome. The whole game, we just rolled them. It was awesome. It was the first moment of that whole year where I was like, this Bears team could be great. And we all know how that ended. It was when I really bought into the Bears that year on that Thanksgiving. That would have been Thanksgiving 2018.
So for me, it's kind of not really related to anything NFL, but you did say favorite Thanksgiving sports memory, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I remember it was my last ever high school football practice. We were getting ready for a state championship game. We had it on Thanksgiving Day. It was in the morning, and I just remember me and my team staying after practice dancing to the music that they played in the intercom, and it was a really good memory for me.
That's a good memory. Dane?
For me, it's always going to go to hockey. I used to play in the Thanksgiving Johnny's Ice House tournaments during Thanksgiving, and we played the West Meadows Renegades, and we went to a shootout, and I scored the game winner and did a
nice
celebration after
he scored. You get the turkey leg on ice after that too?
I wish I did, but and then after that, went to my grandfather's house, indulged in a tuna fish sandwich from Jimmy John's. It doesn't get much better than that.
It doesn't get much better than that. No, that's a Thanksgiving dinner to remember right there. All right, we got some picks, and I believe Mr. Dreyfus is going to be joining us for this one. Giants and the Cowboys. I said this is the dinner time game because it feels like dinner time is so early on Thanksgiving. This is like the game you miss half of because you're eating. But the Giants and Cowboys. I'll start it off. This is a tough one, honestly, but I like what I saw out of the Cowboys last week against the Vikings. I think I'm going to roll with Dallas in this one.
Yeah, the Cowboys really imposed their will last week. I think that was 40-3 versus the Vikings. Oh my God, it really helped their chances at cementing themselves as that playoff contender and contending for a championship. I'm going with the Cowboys.
All right, Dreyfus, what do you think?
I'm gonna go with my uncle's favorite team, my dad's brother. I'm gonna go with the Cowboys, and I like the Cowboys. I still think are a little fraudulent. I think the Giants are bigger frauds, especially with the weakness they have at wide receiver. So I'm gonna kick it over to my dad for his pick.
Based on last week, the fact that the Detroit Lions stuffed Barkley and Daniel Jones has a tendency of stepping on his foot, and the Cowboys defense, even if Michael Parsons doesn't play, the Cowboys will romp.
Interesting to hear. I see you guys are both pretty confident in your picks, no matter what. That's Dane's thing on the red zone. He doesn't make you think otherwise. He tells us that he's confident in the pick. So they're gonna get rocked. That's the last sentence of that one. Moving on to shoot, that was the wrong thing. It shouldn't say that. Packers and Eagles on Sunday Night Football. The practice jerseys taking on Philadelphia. Coming off a big loss. It was the Vikings that the big loss. Never mind. So it's going to be the Eagles and the Packers on Sunday Night Football. What do we think in this one? Dane, I'll let you start as a resident Packers fan.
Well, the Eagles did almost come off a big loss against the Colts. But,
yeah.
The Packers will have no answer for anything the Eagles have to throw at them. This team is banged up. I think it could be a fun game to watch. I think it could be high scoring, but I'm going to go with the Eagles here.
Same here. I don't think there's really too much to say about this one. I think on primetime, I think Rodgers did pretty well on primetime a couple weeks ago, but I think the Eagles have a pretty solid team, and this NFC matchup is going to be pretty one-sided, I think. David?
The past few weeks, I've been putting my faith in the Packers, and it just has really been failing me. I kind of was expecting Aaron Rodgers in this offense to really pick it up. It just doesn't seem like it's really gelling at the later parts of the year. So for that reason, I'm going to go with the Eagles. I think that they are, despite having that one loss, they bounced back last week, getting the win. I think they'll continue to do that this week.
So in this one, Steve went with the Eagles, and in the one before that, he had the Giants. Now, Mr. Dreyfus, what do you think on this one with the Packers and Eagles? I don't think we got your pick yet, did we?
No, but it's across the board. The Packers really have no offense. Christian Watson, I know.
That's coming from the Cardinals fan, okay? You got Colt McCoy starting at QB.
But the Hurst will run wild and will throw it around. And
Hayden Hurst, the tight end for the Bengals, or Jalen Hurts?
Jalen Hurts. So we'll go with the Eagles. And like I said, most of these games are probably going to be a blowout on Thanksgiving, unfortunately.
That's what it seems like. Well, like I said, this is a Sunday night one, but either way, everyone will be too tired from Thanksgiving anyway.
The primetime games will be blowouts.
Yeah, seriously. It's a weird week for it. Well, thank you for joining us as the guest for those two picks.
No problem.
Favorite thing to watch on Thanksgiving before we get in the last two picks that's not football? I know this is a tough one. This isn't like, Thanksgiving side dish like the first one. That was the softball question. I think I'm going to go with like a good old-fashioned, just like a good movie. Like, how sometimes they just show movies on TV during Thanksgiving time? I know it's a broad answer, but after the games are over, usually it's sometimes a Christmas movie. It's always a good vibe. And if anyone has a more specific movie, go ahead and take my answer.
Yeah, the first thing that came to my mind was my eyelids after I'm done eating all that good food. But typically, probably just a really good movie, a family movie, just being able to get all together and watch a good, funny movie. I'm all about comedy, so maybe a good comedy movie.
Dane, what do you think?
Give me, it's probably more of a TV show. Gotta love the Thanksgiving specials. I'm going to go New Girl for, the Thanksgiving special. It's a pretty good show. I like my sitcoms.
I thought you meant like Charlie Brown, but you meant the modern Thanksgiving specials.
Oh, dude, the modern sitcom Thanksgiving specials are way better. Give me a New Girl, a How I Met Your Mother, something along those lines.
Yeah.
But you know what? You might even be able to go with a little Seinfeld and go a little bit ahead in time, and then go with whatchamacallit?
Festivus?
Festivus for the rest.
Yeah. All right.
Dane is a secret Hallmark TV special kind of guy. So
really,
never admit it.
I'm getting hosed right now.
Is that the bomb of the day there? Is that the news drop that Dane is a Hallmark movie guy? I respect it.
This just in from DJ Dave Holla.
I respect it. All right, and joining the show now as our final guest for the last two picks as the football expert of the day, my sister Emmy, 7th grader at Cary Junior High School, correct? Anyone you want to give a quick shout out to? No one? All right. She means business. We're going to get on to the picks then. Vikings and Patriots on after the dinner when everyone's asleep. So we're going to see a matchup between one of the NFC's best and the New England Patriots are kind of stuck in that AFC mid-level. David, you want to start us off on this one?
Yeah, this is a weird game. I think the Vikings are going to win this one easily. Patriots, their quarterback situation throughout the entire year has been a little wonky. Defense has been all right, but I don't think it's going to be a match for Justin Jefferson in this Vikings offense.
Yeah, it feels like these games are all just slated to be blowouts. I kind of hope that we're wrong about one of these, and there's just one
Wait,
really
do
nice
you think this
upset to
game could
watch.
be a blowout?
I don't know if it'll be a blowout, but I think it's pretty cut and dry for the Vikings. That's going to be a clip. That's going to be a clip.
Well, the spread is 2.5, and also after the defensive performance that the Patriots just put on against the Jets, which isn't a great offense by any stretch, but after the performance the Vikings just put on against the Cowboys.
Yeah, no, they're not coming in hot. That's for sure.
The Cowboys have an offense. I mean,
yeah, but the Patriots are going to run the ball 45 times. My can't miss parlay for Thanksgiving is going to be a same gamer. Ramondre Stevenson over in rushing yards. Ramondre Stevenson anytime.
I mean,
touchdown.
okay, yeah, the Patriots might hold on to the ball for longer, but the Vikings have such a more high-powered, flashy offense that they're going to find ways to score.
Most underrated defensive player in the NFL is Matthew Judon, and that's why the Patriots are going to prove that the Vikings are frauds on Fraudsgiving.
and the only thing that the Patriots have going for them is the fact that Kirk Cousins' record on primetime.
Yeah.
Oh my, and
yeah.
I totally forgot.
I also forgot
Primetime Kirk. It's a
about
free
the Vikings
win.
not at noon too. It definitely is a real thing. Steve went with the Vikings nonetheless. And Emmy Fernelli, our football expert of the 7th grade, what do you think between the Minnesota Vikings and the New England Patriots? Say it a little bit louder.
I think it's
the Vikings. Why is that? Everybody else. Dane didn't say that. But she says the Vikings because that's what everybody else said, and I respect that. Go with America.
Fade
Final
game.
Final game of the day: Steelers and the Colts. This one's another. I feel like this one's actually kind of a close call. Dan, you started this one. I think you've started one recently.
This one is literally a toss-up. You have a Hall of Fame coach versus a guy that people have argued shouldn't be a coach. Period. I'm going to lean the Colts here. I'm not. This is the one game that it's a coin flip. And speaking of coins, apparently someone has predicted the entire New York Jets season with the flip of a coin.
Don't they have the Bears winning too?
They do have the Bears winning against the Patriots next week.
That's a lot.
Or no. They had the Bears winning against the Patriots. It was a lot.
Oh, against the Jets, you mean, right?
Jets.
They have the Patriots beating the Jets, yes. And so I'm going by way of the coin. I'm going in my own brain here, flipping a coin, and I'm leaning Colts. I just think they have more weapons, and Jeff Saturday's fun.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think the Jeff Saturday story is kind of fun, and I always like to pick the home team. The Steelers' offense is unimpressive at best. They were decent defense, but I think this Colts team could do their best here and win a toss-up of a game. David, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't really like the Colts in this one. I kind of like the Steelers. I like Mike Tomlin. Kenny Pickett, he's had a few games where he's raised some eyebrows. I know he faced Miami a few weeks ago in one of his first starts of the year and really cemented himself as a starter on that team. I know there was some controversy between him and Mitchell Trubisky. I like the Steelers, though. George Pickens has really been doing good the past 2 weeks. I have him in fantasy, so I know personally. I'm going to go with the Steelers, though.
All right. Emmy, what do you think? Tell it to the camera.
Steelers.
Why the Steelers? You got to give some kind of reason. Everybody else, every other guest gave
cooler
reasons.
logo, better jerseys.
Yeah, do you know what their colors are? All right, so the Steelers have black and yellow, and the Colts have white and blue. Which one's cooler? So are you changing your pick? So she's gonna go with the Steelers.
Which place would you rather go on a vacation, Pittsburgh or Indianapolis?
Neither are a tropical place to be. They're about the same as here. So you're gonna go with the Steelers, correct? Let me go to the Steelers. You're good now. Thank you for joining. Can I have the headphone back though? All right, thank you.
How appropriate
Oh my God.
is it that my dad's phone went off not once, but twice?
Mine went off at 1.2, so you're not alone. This is how it is when we're on Zoom. We don't really have phones go off in the studio though, but on Zoom, of course, it happens all the time. So first, finally, I should say, here's the last thing of the day, and take this how you will. What are you guys thankful for this year? It could be about anything. What do you think? Anyone got some time to think?
Yeah.
My family, that's my foundation. They really hold me up when I need it. So I'll say my family for sure.
Family definitely. Just grateful for our family and the way we connect and the way we spend time together. So that's definitely something we're grateful for.
Absolutely. Dane and the Dreyfuses, I should say.
I think the Moseses put it perfectly. Family, health, everything you can. We got Subban coming in too. he wanted to be part of it. Mom and sister aren't here right now, so love them. Love my sister's fiance, Caleb. Thankful for them and everything that they blessed me with. So
Absolutely. Who is Subban named after? The goalie or the Hall of Fame bound defenseman?
PK Subban, probably one of the best defensemen to ever lace it up for the historic franchise, the Montreal Canadiens. Now a great analyst, probably someone I would love to work with in the future. Not a little shameless plug, but yeah, definitely he's named after PK.
What's his brother's name again? The goalie?
It's Malcolm, and don't forget about
Malcolm.
Jordan.
There's another one. Okay.
He's in the AHL. He had a
Okay.
cup of coffee with the Canucks in the NHL.
Where's Malcolm at now? I know he was the goalie in Vegas, right? Or for a while. He was the Hawks
No,
briefly,
he's
wasn't he?
in Buffalo's minors now. I think he's a
Okay.
Rochester American.
Yeah, okay. For me, you guys hit the nail on the head. I'm thankful for my family, thankful for you guys doing this with us every week, and all of our other colleagues at Z&D and all our friends back at school. And thankful to be able to sit here and talk about sports and ultimately not have to worry about all too much. So thankful for you guys and thankful for all the listeners. Thank you for watching this edition of the Red Zone. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. For Dan and David, I'm Mikey Fernelli.